This week, I am straight back in with the Mini because I've got some fixing to do, I got some cleaning to do, and I got some modifications to do. So let me show you what I'm working with. Fix number one, I need to take care of these fog lights because, as I said in the last video, I put some sticky stuff in there and it's almost fallen out and it looks terrible. And since then, for some reason, the other one has completely fallen out. So we need to take care of that right now. It needs a big clean up inside because I've not hoovered it since the day I bought it and it's still in a mess from the previous owner and where it was left sitting or whatever, and it is filthy. And while the outside has had a little bit of a jet wash, it does need a good clean and polish, and we need to do some mods to make it sound a bit more ASBO than it currently does. But first things first, let's get this bumper off so we can reset those fog lights, and I got time for the sealant that holds them in to cure. So I've never taken the bumper off this myself, but I'm assuming I need to take off this grill so that I can access any screws or nuts or bolts that are holding that bumper on. So let's figure it out. Okay, so bumper off. Here's what I'm dealing with. I mean, there's a bunch of tape under there, which was apparently holding the trim on, so I may need to look at that in a minute. But what I need to do is I need to pull all this sealant out on this side, all the sealant out on that side, unplug those fogs, and set them in there correctly, hopefully without all the sealant coming through the front. So, let's crack on with that. Okay, not going to bore you with a long drawn-out process of me getting all the sealant out, but it is done. I am absolutely sweating because it's like 25 degrees in here, and that has taken me the best part of an hour. But all of the sealant is out from around the bumper. My mate is just ripping the sealant out of the fog light that I put in, and then I've got to work out how we reset these. So because this looks like an aftermarket kit, not an original, there's no clips or anything that I'm assuming would be in the bumper for that to go on. So we're going to have to sealant it back in. But if I just put a bit of sealant where each of the tabs are and then some around the outside, leave it there to dry, should be a good to go. Okay, it's not pretty from the back, but they are sealed. They look like they're seating quite well. And if any's leaked through from the front, then I'll have to take care of it once it's dry. But those should now hold. There is enough OB1 on there to stick the car to the wall, so those should be good. So next, let's do a bit of modification, and it's time to make the car sound a bit more ASBO than it currently does. So here's how it currently sounds. It sounds alright, sounds nice and sporty. It pops and bangs a little bit when you let off the throttle over 3,000 RPM. It sounds pretty good, but I want it to sound a little bit more ASBO. So we're going to do a back box delete and see how that sounds. So I've got here one back box delete from RPM Performance. I bought it on eBay. It cost me, with the discounts and things that eBay were offering, I think I got it for like £100 or £109. I will leave a link in the description in case anybody's interested in buying one. They give you a choice of black or silver tips. I opted for silver / cuts. That should make a big difference in the sound. So let's take a look at the one that's currently on there. Let's get this car in the air. Okay, so here is the old back box. I have run into a slight problem already, as per usual. If you can see here, nice and bright now with me light, that right there, that has been already welded by the looks of things. I believe that's supposed to, or there's supposed to be like a Jubilee clip or something there. But it looks like somebody has welded that, which is going to cause me a little bit of a problem because I'm now going to have to cut here in order to fit my my new exhaust over it. So let's get the angle grinder out. Right, so fast forward, I'm not going to bore you with all of me me and my pal trying to cut the exhaust off with the angle grinder because that is just not fun being that close to the angle grinder. But let me show you what we're working with. There is the old back box. We had to chop it there and fit the new one, and I think those slash cut tips look great. We've spent ages trying to get this on, and that is looking a lot better. Now, let's drop it off the axles and give it a start. Right, the car is back on the ground. I was going to wait until I put the front bumper on and everything before I do this, but let's give it a start. Let's hear how that sounds. Now, that is what I was looking for. I wanted it to sound more Asbo, and that is pretty much it. It's not too loud. It does backfire pretty loud, but that sounds brilliant. That is what I was looking for. I cannot wait to put that out on the road and hear it under load and hear how it sounds while it's driving. It's been a messy job. I am absolutely stinking. I've even got dirt from where I've wiped my face, but that has totally been worth it. That's mod number 1 done, and I am well happy with that. Now, I think the sealant should be dry because that has taken me a lot of time, so I'm going to start putting the front bumper back on. So to put the bumper back on, I move it into place so that everything lines up, ready for when I lift it. The outside temperature sensor needed a dab of sealant just to hold it on so that it doesn't fall back off. Once the bumper lifts, there's just 4 screws, 2 on each side and 2 on the front. And then there's 2 little screws for the trim clips on the side. And then there's 2 trim clips as well for the front grille. There should be 4, but there was actually only 2 when I took it off. So the bumper is now all reassembled. I've actually moved some of the screws in the back of the trim clips around and reset them properly. So that is actually all held on now better than what it was before. So now I've been driving the car around for a few days. I can tell you that exhaust is sounding awesome, but there is another little fix that I need to do because something has come loose. And that something is this intake pipe. It seems that no matter how tight I do that Jubilee clip up, it's just not holding on there properly, even if I put it in its correct place. So I'm going to have to change that for a bigger one. Hopefully it stops this intake pipe coming off. Because I've driven the car here, I'm going to have to leave that cool down because that is pretty hot right now. So I'm going to give the car a hoover because it is pretty filthy in here. And it would be nice if it was nice and clean. So let's crack on with that. Okay, that's enough of that. That is very hot, sweaty work on a day like today because it is like 24, 25 degrees today. But I am done hoovering and I've gone ahead and I've actually cleaned up all the dash and all the trims inside the car and the seats. Let's take a look. We have some very nice clean trims. Some very nice clean carpets, front and back. Well, the back seats are looking good. Front seats. It is looking not quite like a new car in there, but a very well looked after one. So that's looking sweet. Let's finish the job on the engine and then clean the outside of the car. So, should be nice, simple, straightforward job here. We got a new Jubilee clip, which is wider than the one that's on there. Now, I know the one that's on there does have a little notch, which sits around the rubber properly, but that is not holding on. So, something is amiss. So, pop that one off. Pop this one on. Hopefully, that will now stay on there once I tighten this up. Okay, neither Jubilee clip really seemed to work properly there, because that one, although it has a notch in it, it looks to be the proper one. The more you tighten it, the more that pulls off. So if you slacken it a bit and get it just tight enough, it does stay on without forcing itself off. I don't know, I'm going to have to go home and Google that and see if that's like a common problem, or if something's wrong there, or if there's something missing. I don't really know, but hopefully that stays on. I only noticed it was off because when I was going high revs, it was like really, really whistling. And yeah, that's not good. I mean, it's not the end of the world, because I was planning on actually fitting an induction kit, but I've got a ram air filter and I realised it's for a different Mini. That's massive compared to the pipes down there. I mean, that is just not going to attach. There's some sort of adapter or something that I need. I'm pretty sure this is for a Mini with a different engine to this one, so I may even need to get a different kit, but I mean, that would be pretty cool if I could fit that. But that is not a mod I can actually do today, even though I was planning on doing it. So as per, not everything quite goes to plan, but I've actually, I've done a mod. I've done a couple of fixes, obviously the fog lights and things. So most of it is going to plan. But something I do need to do is actually take it somewhere less echoey than the unit, so I can show you the exhaust note on it, because obviously I watched back the footage that I filmed earlier with the exhaust revving back there, and it is really echoey in here. So I'll take it out and get it, in a less echoey environment. So first of all, let's go drive it now. So camera is set up in the car. We're going to drive it home. I'm going to put the window down this time, so hopefully we don't get too much wind noise, but we do get some exhaust noise. So let's see how this goes. Oh, that definitely sounds a lot better, but hopefully that intake pipe does not pop back off while I'm driving back. Ta-da.
Later, brother.
Ooh, that sounds so good from first to second. It's definitely got that like more Asbo, like throatier sound I was looking for. Oof. Although, can't drive too fast with it. Oh, it just sounds so good. I don't know how much wind noise we're getting because I have got the window open, but I don't know if you can hear the exhaust. Oh, it just sounds so much better. So much more Asbo. Roundabout. Ah, ruined my fun. Savage. I just love all those pops and bangs. I don't know why, it just puts a smile on my face. I mean, who doesn't love that? If you're into cars, bikes, anything, just engine and exhaust noises. Fun. Red light. Bang. It's just too much traffic. Although, you don't have to be going fast to have fun, I guess. Okay, that is more than enough driving for one video. It's probably too much driving for one video, if anything. I mean, I'm still getting used to filming while I'm on the move with the camera in the car and stuff, so I hope that wasn't picking up too much wind noise, but the Mini is now on the drive. It is time to start getting this thing nice, clean and polished, and we can wrap this up. Now I know the exterior doesn't look super dirty. I did take it through the car wash the other day, but you know, there is dust and stuff settling on it, and the main thing I want to clean is the wheels, because they've got all this like set-in brake dust and stuff, especially on, I can't remember which one it was now, but you know, they really do need a bit of a clean. So let's cue some music and get this started. So step one, I'm hitting the car with a quick rinse to just blast off any of the dust, dirt and debris that's settled on the car since the last wash. Step two is to hit all the wheels with a bit of wheel cleaner. I'm giving them a bit of time to soak so that the wheel cleaner sets in and helps to break down any of that dust and dirt. And then I'm going to get the wheel cleaner in there with a nice foamy brush and see if we can get those wheels sparkling as possible.
I don't think I can take this anymore. I might just break all the way hard, 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 all the way
Now step 3, I'm just hitting the car with some car shampoo and a hand mitt. Normally at this point I'd use some snow foam, but I seem to be all out of snow foam and missing a part from my foam lance. Now I'm going around every single panel of this car, making sure I get it nice, soapy and wet, and pressing that mitt really in to each panel so that I can make sure I get out any of the dirt spots. Next up is another rinse just to get off all that soap so we can start the paint decontamination. Now I skipped the recording of the paint decontamination to save a bit of time on this video. I went around the car with some tar and glue remover to get off as much of that sealant as I could at the front. I then went around it with a wash mitt and then another rinse. And now you're seeing the waxing stage. And now on to one of the final stages, which is just to give the car a PTFE hybrid glaze coating. This gives the car a really nice deep glossy wet look kind of finish, and it makes the car look really, really nice. And finally, some tyre gel and trim shines. Okay, that is enough of that. She is all clean. I've taken a nice drive up to some beautiful scenery. Now let's take a look at the car. Now, doesn't that just sound great? It's got that extra bit of ASBO sound that I was hoping for, but not too over the top. For a back box that cost me about 100 quid, I am really impressed with that. Like I said, it's from RPM Performance on eBay. I'll put a link in the description, so if you do want to get one for your Mini, check them out. Now, not to be biased, but I think that car is looking absolutely spot on from every angle, and it just looks so good sat there in this car park with that backdrop. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a few imperfections here or there, mostly around that front bumper where it's cracked and paint is chipped and things, and the wheels could do with a refurb, but otherwise, I mean, all in all, for a car that owes me like 1500 quid, it is fantastic. It runs well, it drives well, and now with that new exhaust, it sounds absolutely fantastic. It is exactly what I was looking for. So for now, that is me done messing around with this little Mini, because everything on the car is fixed now, with the exception of the sunroof. Now, I will fix the sunroof at a later date because it would be nice for the car to be pretty much 100%. But that is pretty much it. It would be easy for me to just keep throwing money at this car, but ultimately when I do sell it, I want to make a little bit of a profit to put towards the next one. And if I keep doing stuff with this car, then the chances of me making a profit will disappear, because like I said, the wheels could do with a refurb, but that's, you know, that you're talking a couple hundred quid for that, and I'm probably not going to get a lot of that money back on the back end. And if I do any more mods to the car, I know I've only done a back box. I was going to do the induction kit, but obviously that didn't really work out. But spending money on mods, again, you're not really going to get any of that back unless you find the perfect person who's willing to pay you the extra for the mods that you've done, I guess because they were going to do them anyway. I don't know, but realistically, this is as much as I need to spend with the car. Now, I've no plans on selling it just yet, because I do still want to do a road trip, at least one road trip. I got quite a special one planned, but I need to wait for a few things to happen in order for me to be able to do that. But it is going to be really hard when the time comes to get rid of this car and move on to the next one, because I have grown so attached to it. I've always wanted a Mini, and I just think they're fantastic. They look great, they drive great, they're quick, they're agile, they handle really, really well. I mean, I've come down some nice twisty roads here, and it has just performed amazingly the whole way up. But it is time for me to stop working on the Mini and get back to the workshop and working on the bikes and some of the really exciting projects that I've got coming up on the channel. Now, I've tried to cram a lot into a really short video this week, so I hope you've enjoyed it. Obviously, I've cleaned the car, I've done a few fixes, and I've done a modification. Not quite as many as I would have liked to, but, you know, I've tried to cram a lot in. And there's actually been a lot of time gone into the edit on this one as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a thumbs up. If you think the Mini is looking fantastic and you think I'm going to do well on that, then let me know in the comments. And to make sure you don't miss the road trip that'll be coming up in this car and everything else I've got coming on the channel, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. And until the next video, thank you so much for watching.